Hottoggo. We got Chappel Roan. So I did a recreation of one of her iconic looks, actually one of many iconic looks that she's done. And I was like, this would be a really great Halloween costume for anybody who's a really big fan of hers, or somebody just wants to do something really fun. And her looks are just so cool. And when I saw this taxi look slash Statue of Liberty look, I was like, this look is everything. Even got it down to the costuming. But towards the end of this look, I was like, oh, I can do something different. I can do something inside out, aka Disgust. And I'm gonna show you guys how I took this look and turned it into Disgust from inside out. So if you're curious to see how I did it, continue watching this video. First, we're recreating this iconic look by Chappel Roan. This is her taxi slash Statue of Liberty look, and I absolutely love it. So first, I need to make the perfect green shade. So I'm using Super Beauty Paints, NYX Ultimate Eye Paints, and Makeup Murder Poison Pigment to create the shade I need. I'm also trying to match the green to the long sleeve I'll be wearing under my costume. Once I got the perfect green, I apply it all over my face, and I start blending it with a dense fluffy brush. However, I noticed the colors showed up a little too green on my skin, and I needed something more cool tone. So I decided to do reverse contouring, meaning I'm using my initial base shade as my contour shade. In order to achieve this, I'm using a white paint to highlight the center of my face and under my cheekbones. The white helps lighten the initial green shade, and I get closer to the shade I want. Using a very white translucent powder, I set everywhere I put the white paint to make sure I properly set the paint. And I let it bake for a few minutes and then brush it off. Now the only thing left is to set the original green, aka my new contour shade. I'm using a dark green from the Color Rain palette to set and intensify the contour. I also mix it with the Makeup Murder pigment to help blend it into the lighter green. For my nose contour, I use a medium green shade on the bridge of my nose and making sure to connect the beginning of my nose contour to the beginning of my brows. Also, to make my nose contour more prominent, I use white eyeshadow and I just slightly press it on the sides of my nose. Yes, it gives a more dramatic nose contour, but that's the look I'm going for. Not only do I use a white eyeshadow to intensify the nose contour, I also use it to brighten my under eye because I want a very exaggerated bright under eye. I know Chappell takes a lot of her inspiration from drag queens, so I want to implement that technique into my look. Now, Chappell's brows are full and fluffy and mine's are not. So I decided to use eyeshadow to fill in my brows with an angle brush. The shadow gives my brows a more natural full look. Then I need to add brow-like hair strokes. I use NYX Brow Tint Pen to create the brow hair throughout the brow, focusing most of it at the beginning of the brow. This gives a brow a more quote-unquote natural look. I use white paint to clean up under my brows and to highlight my brow bone. Like my brow bone gotta be super highlighted that the person at the very back of the audience can see this brow bone, okay? Now it's time for the eyes, which are a little tricky to do because there's so many parts and pieces to this look. I first draw a line at the corner of my eyes, and this will be the guideline where my eyeshadow needs to end. I use the same color I use to contour my nose, and I start applying it above my crease and winging it. Right under the green shadow, I'm using a small blending brush and applying this black green shadow, blending and winging it into the green. I go back in with the fluffy blending brush with the first green to blend the two colors together. Take your time. Blending is key for this look. I also went in with some black shadow into the crease to deepen the crease some more, because depth is everything for this eyeshadow look. As if my brow bone couldn't be more highlighted, I go back in with some white shadow on my brow bone to highlight it and to lightly blend it into the crease. Next, I'm cutting the crease using white shadow base. And I over exaggerate the crease above my natural crease because my natural crease is actually very low. And when cutting the crease, wing it out and leaving the initial thick black line that I drew in the beginning untouched. Also, make sure your brush is super flat to create clean, sharp edges while cutting the crease. Next, I'm applying silver pigment from Makeup Murder with the same brush I used to cut the crease with. And I'm pressing the pigment along the edge of the cut crease to make sure it looks sharp and clean. Then in the inner corner of my eyes, I use a white shadow and a light silver shadow to blend into the inner part of my under eyes. I need more depth in my cut crease, so I'm going in with black liquid liner and I'm lining the edges of my cut crease and the outer wing. And then on top of that, I'm going in with black shadow to further deepen the black. And I'm using a very thin angle brush to get as close as possible to the cut crease without disturbing the silver. Also went back in with a little bit of green paint to clean the edges of that wing so it looks sharper and more snatched. Like, do you see how beautiful that looks? Like, whoop! Bring it all the way up to the temple, baby. I'm using black paint to line my upper lid and I'm winging it out just like how I did the initial wing. But the placement is going to be a little bit lower, so under the first wing. I start to thicken up the liner, creating a thick wing. But make sure the tip of the wing is very sharp and you get it very skinny. Now it's time for the bottom portion of the eye look. I'm using black liner in my waterline, then I'm smoking it out with a black shadow and then the same green I use in my cut crease to create a more ombre effect. Sorry, I don't have footage of me doing that because I ended up being out of frame. Thank God I filmed everything on my iPhone. For the lines, I use a small pointed brush and gently sketch out where I want the lines. Once I'm happy with the lines, I use an angle brush to thicken them up, focusing the thickness at the base of the liner closer to my lash line. Take your time with this because you want to make sure you create sharp, clean lines. I lightly use white shadow on the edges of my lines to clean up any little mistakes I did. Also to make the lines look more clean and crisp. So Chappel has 3D silver paper wings for her look. I couldn't find any in time, so instead I made silver liner. So I mixed in the silver pigment from Makeup Murder with their mixing medium to create a silver liquid liner, and I applied it to the sides of 2 of the wings. Hard part is over. Now it's time to bling out the makeup look with some white silver rhinestones. Honestly, I try to follow her rhinestone placement, but in the end, I just did my own thing and I like it either way. For the glitter, I use a brush on eyelash glue and apply a thin layer in the middle of my lid. Then I take the glitter and apply it on top of the glue using my fingers. For lashes, obviously I'm going in with my go-to lashes for any creative look, which is my Eldora False Lashes in B802. Also forgot that I applied bottom lashes to this look as well. I didn't get a clip of it because honestly, bottom lashes give me anxiety and I feel like I can only do it when I'm not filming. Last but not least, the lips. I reactivated the dry paint using mixing medium and I add a little bit of black to it to create a more deeper shade of green, which would be the perfect lip color. Once I applied the lip color, I needed to create that metallic effect that Chappell has on her lips, so I applied Half Magic eyeshadow to my lips using my fingers. I also used the same eyeshadow color to highlight my nose and my cheeks. And now we're HOTTOGO. And this is my completed Chappell Roan look. I love it. I got the taxi hat from Amazon. I got these air fresheners from the dollar store and I looped it through earrings and put in my ears. And I'm like, whoop, there we go. Earring freshener, just like her look. And honestly, the smell kind of annoyed me a bit. It was giving me a headache afterwards. I'm like, this is a lot, so beware. And then my mom made me this taxi cab sign to stick onto my dress using command strips, and I absolutely love it. I wish we had some bling to add to it, but you know what? It's cute as is. And this is the completed look. This is the dress that I got from Shein. It's a black and yellow bubble skirt dress, which is so cute. I swear my closet's endless because I can't believe I had black and yellow boots that I bought years ago from Ego, so I wore those paired up with this cute mini yellow Michael Kors bag because y'all know my mom loves tiny bags. Wore white gloves and then I wore this like green mesh shirt under the dress so that way it gives illusion that I'm painted all over, but I'm really not. So I was about to take out this look and then I looked in the mirror and I said, wait a minute, I low-key look like Disgust from Inside Out. So I was like, bet, I'm gonna use the same look. All I'm gonna do is add some blush and pink lips, change my outfit, change my hair a little bit, and then I can literally turn into Disgust. It may not be the same color as Disgust because I know she's more of like a bright green. However, when you put on the outfit and everything, it really brought the look together. And this is the wig I end up wearing because I didn't have a wig like hers. But honestly, it was already in the same kind of style as her wig. So I just left it. All I had to do was just blend it because honestly, the lace was looking crazy. But this is how it looks like. I was so impressed. I was like, oh my God, she looks so cute. I absolutely love this look so much. And then the outfit, and then the outfit really just brought it together. The dress and the shoes I got from Akira. Then the scarf is Moschino. Shout out to my mom for the designer plug. And then she also gave me a mini Coach bag. And honestly, the look was so cute, especially when I paired it with some green tights. It really brought the look together. But yeah, these are both my looks that I did for Halloween. You can do the Chappel Roan look or you can do the Disgust look. Either way, you're gonna look so amazing for the Halloween season. And that's the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on all my social media platforms at It's Bay Bay. See you guys again in another video. Bye.